Time once again for Daytime's You Auto Know segment with Steve Hurley from Stingray Chevrolet. Now, maintaining your car on a routine basis is the best way, obviously, to avoid big problems down the road. Steve is with us now to talk about some of the best practices. Again, a lot of things we've heard before, but they really need to be said over and over again.
Agreed.
All right, let's talk first of all about oil changes. Times are changing about this subject,
About oil
aren't
changes,
they?
they sure are. It's a different time. Most of our oil now is not just your standard oil. It's what they call, we use with GM, something called Dexos, which is a synthetic oil. It's a little bit more expensive, but you can go longer between oil changes and get better fuel mileage.
So gone are the, you better change your oil every 3,000 miles.
For the most part, everybody has different driving conditions. Literally, some people may be driving in dust storms in West Texas and need to change it every 2,000 miles. But normally, you can go as far as the manufacturer recommends, which is closer to 5,000 to 7,500 miles.
Okay, what about tire rotations? How often should you rotate your tires?
Typically, you want to do it when you do your oil change because most people won't make an appointment. We just are too busy. You won't make an appointment just to rotate your tires. So have that coincide with your oil changes. Do it every 5 to 7,500 miles. And obviously make sure your vehicle is the type of vehicle that has the same tires in the front as in the rear. If they can be rotated, they should be rotated. You'll get better life.
Do you recommend having, if you've bought the car at the dealership, to have it serviced at the dealership?
Obviously, I'm a little bit biased being a Chevy dealer.
Well, yes, but
at the
I
same
also
time,
know you give unbiased opinions about cars.
You can sometimes save money, but keep in mind that these independent shops, they do a good job. There's nothing wrong with that, but you actually oftentimes tend to be subject to upsell situations, and that's their job, is to sell service, and some are going to do it more than others, just like some dealerships more than others. You just need to be aware of that possibility. But also when you service at the dealership, it used to be that, oh, don't go to your dealer, they're so much more expensive. That's not the case. I'm not talking about just our brand. Any brand, they've got to be competitive these days. And plus, you've got the trained, certified technicians.
I go to my dealer, and they're reasonable.
Absolutely.
Very reasonable. Okay, gas prices have gone way down. When is it smart, though, to use the high-octane fuel?
Some people have the misconception that they should run it every once in a while. It's good for the engine, it runs better and so forth. It really isn't true. If it's not required, you're just really spending money you shouldn't spend. Now, if you're ever in a situation where you're in a very hot climate, you're doing a lot of towing, if you ever hear any knocking or pinging, yes, it will make a difference to run a higher octane. But for the most part, don't spend the money.
All right, a lot of
unless
people
it recommends it.
Okay, a lot of people are scared when that check engine light comes on. It's not
We've all
always
seen it.
the end of the world, is it?
No, not necessarily, but it can be. Depends on the manufacturer, but a good rule of thumb is that if a check engine light is steady on, that just means, hey, you need to get in for service, or you might have a gas cap that was loose that caused a problem. If you've got a flashing light ever, and sometimes a check engine light flashes, you need to get it to the dealer immediately. And a good rule of thumb, just as when we in the past talked about brakes, green, yellow, red, a red light is much worse than an amber or yellow light.
Okay, absolutely. Steve Hurley, always a pleasure, and I learn something every time you're here. If you have any questions related to your car, just get in touch with Steve. You can email him at steve@youautoknow.com. For more info on Stingray Chevrolet, head to stingraychevrolet.com, or you can call 813-359-5000. And we'll be right back.